Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly analysis video. Today's date is the 19th of August 2018 and we're going to quickly run over what happened last week, the news events coming up this week, and also basically the technicals and what we expect to happen this week. So one of the main things that we would have seen last week and going into the week before is the Turkish lira crashing, which, as I can show you if I actually open up the chart now, as the Turkish lira just crashed and decreased in value, we actually had a breakout to the upside. And if we was to have a look at the DXY, and so we can actually see when we go over to the DXY, we had some resistance circa 95.35. We broke out straight through it and have started to actually pull back to it now. We're pulling back to the short-term moving average, so that could be where we bounce from. However, I would really like to see it come all the way back to the 95.50 mark, roughly. If we just move that up a little bit. The 95.50 mark and then bounce from here back up again would be perfect for us. And so really they're the main things to take away from last week. There are a few other things as well. However, if you want to look at all of them, I recommend going to forexfactory.com. The link will be in the description and you can look at all the news events for the past week or 2 weeks and catch up on all of it. But now moving on to the news events for this week. As you can see, Monday is quite quiet. At 11 PM on Monday, there is an AUD RBA GovLao speaks. Now, I don't really expect this to be huge, so I won't be staying up for it or trading it at all. I'm basically writing Monday off as a non-event day. We're sort of just treating Monday as a bit of a day off. We'll still be there trading, but there won't be as many compared to normal because there isn't much news. Things do start to pick up on Tuesday at 2:30 in the morning when we have the AUD monetary policy meeting minutes. And we also have at 11:45 the NZD retail sales quarter on quarter. So both of those are pretty big. Neither of them are good times for trading if you're in the UK. However, we can trade the reaction once you're awake. On Wednesday at 1:30, which is a much better time, we have the CAD core retail sales month on month. At 3:30, the USD crude oil inventories, and at 7 PM, the USD FOMC meeting minutes. So a big day for USD and CAD on Wednesday. Do keep an eye on that one. Thursday has a lot of big news in here really, but the main one that we're going to care about is at 12:30 PM, which will be the Euro ECB monetary policy meeting accounts. We want to keep an eye on that and see what actually happens there because we might get a bit of a market reaction. And then to end the week on Friday, we have two things. There's one at 1:30 for USD, which is core durable goods orders month on month, as well as the durable goods orders month on month. And then at 3 PM to end it off, we have the USD Fed Chair Powell speaks, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what he says as well. So this speech at 3 PM is basically going to be to do with the monetary policy in a changing economy. And if you have some time, listen through it, because if we hear anything hawkish from this, then we can expect to see the USD get a little bit stronger again and actually continue to rise. Which, if we can see that back down around the level that I showed you in the DXY earlier, around the 95.50 handle, if we can get to here and then we see Powell actually come out with some hawkish statements during his speech, then we could see it bounce from here nice and easy and start to head upwards. One thing to watch out for, guys, when we broke out of here, it wasn't just from USD strength, it was more from the counterpart currencies, the lowers, the minors, that were all starting to break out, crash, go crazy. That's what helped us hit. So make sure when we come back down that you actually check the Turkish lira again. So if we was to go back over and look, we can see we've pulled back and start to head back up. One of the things we really want to see if we're going dollar long is for this to reflect our dollar long as well. So if we can see this bounce and continue to rise from up here, and we see the same on the DXY from this support level, we know we have a strong dollar, we can get back into strong dollar trades. So talking of strong dollar, we'll go over to Euro USD and have a look at what's happening here. So as you can see, basically last Friday, I think this was, we broke through the support level on Euro USD, circa 115.35. And then we just came down even further, all the way down to the 112.87 mark, which you can just about see here. We didn't quite test it, but we started to head back up since. Now honestly guys, anywhere between these two levels here, as I've just marked in red, is sort of my kill zone for entering short on Euro USD. What I would love to see is for the price to come all the way back up to our strong resistance at 115.35 and then head back down. But as we literally just said about, I want to see that head back down, as well as the DXY bounce and the Turkish lira bounce, and start to head back up as well. If we can get all of those things, it gives us a perfect trade here to enter short, because we've got all of this chop as resistance here. However, what I'll probably be doing is an intraday trade from this resistance with a 20 or 30 pip stop loss, and then taking it back down to this previous low that it had, which basically closed just below the 113 even. So take it back down to about 113 and then get out there, because that's when you're going to start to see it bounce again. So just to draw out one more time for you, we expect price to come back up to the resistance at 115.35. Reverse in this kill zone somewhere, we'll get an entry, bearish engulfing candle, gravestone doji, blah blah blah. We'll use that as our confirmation, and then we can enter short and take our profits back down around the previous low. Next up we have GBP USD. Now, honestly, with GBP, there's a lot going on at the moment. We had the Bank of England's interest rate hike. We've got Brexit. There was the dollar strength and the Turkish lira crash. There was the bad average earnings. And there's also the good unemployment rate for GBP, which has sort of put it a little bit all over the place. But as you can see, it's been in a downtrend at least for the last week, maybe even last 2 weeks. And we've only recently started to bounce from the support back up again. I'm actually going to move this support line here up to around there because it's the 130 even handle as well as the last low since we recently came back down. So you can probably guess what I'm going to be saying about this anyway. We're going to expect to see it pull back up. Do I really think it would get all the way back up to here? I mean, that's a pretty huge retracement. If we was actually to do a fib retracement on this move, which I would consider it to be from here to here, then you could see that taking it all the way back up would be a perfect 618 retracement. 618s, you know, they're normally great for entries. If you want to use a 618 retracement to get in on a short or a long, whatever, following the trend, then that's pretty perfect. And right here, this would be a perfect setup. Honestly, if we got a rejection from the resistance and the 618 fib level and the 138 even, then that's a brilliant thing for us to go short and take it back down to the previous lows. Now the problem with that is, can we actually get all the way up there? We've got a jump of around 250 pips there to make. In a week we'd have to have an entire week of buying, which means of course we're going to need a weak dollar, which is the opposite kind of to what we're expecting to see happen. But if during the time that we get the weak dollar on the retracements, if we go back to the Dixie, we expect the dollar to get weak as it retraces back to the support. But is that amount of a move on the Dixie enough to get GBP USD all the way back up to here? We would have to have a super strong pounds and a really weak dollar for that short amount of time. I don't really think it's possible for it to do that, but if it does, so that would be one of the most perfect trades I've seen this week for us to take. Getting a bounce from here as well as a bounce on the Dixie at the same time for confirmation would be great for a short. However though guys, you're probably way better off looking at either the 50% retracement level or the 382. If we zoom in a little bit more, so really guys, the 236 actually comes in a little bit with kind of some resistance that we have there. It's not a lot. I would expect to see it break through 236 and get up to 382. So if we actually wanted a better kill zone on this, honestly anywhere there is going to be what you'll actually expect to see. If we do happen to get to 618, then fine, that's perfect. But where I actually expect it to go to is going to be between these two, really. Basically anywhere in here I would expect to see a reversal and a head down, which is when we'll be looking to sell. I'll be doing this on an intraday level, so I'm going to be using pivot points obviously. If I was to go down to the hourly, we can see my pivots here. And right here, right at the bottom of this zone is probably where I'd be looking for a reversal today or even tomorrow. Because around the 128 even mark, which is obviously going to be resistance for us, we've got all of this chop, we've got the R2 pivot. And so that'll probably be a place to watch. I can set an alert on there just so that I make sure I don't miss that tomorrow. That should help you understand a little bit more why I don't really expect to see price come all the way up to here. Because as you can see, if price was to come up to there, that's not really a retracement. That's taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 5 or 6 previous highs and previous lows, which is a complete reversal in trend. It's not a pullback unless you're looking at it on the daily. So just be careful with GBP USD this week. Wait out for most of the week. It's not going to get anywhere until Wednesday, so I'm not even going to be looking to trade this on Monday and Tuesday unless a really good trade setup comes up. Remember that patience is a virtue. Just sit back, wait, let the trade come to you, and that's how you're going to catch the most pips. And the last one that we're going to look at today before actually ending the video is USD JPY. So as we can see on USD JPY, we've sort of had a lot of chop around this area. It's not a very good looking pair right now on the daily. It's not beautiful at all. On Friday we did try and push through the lows, however you can see the wicks on the bottom. We tried to close below, just quite couldn't do it though. But we did close behind the 110.71 resistance and the 111 even resistance, which is great. If you're going to look for anything this week guys, honestly look to short this back down to our previous level of support. Anywhere in this area, we'll get a little pullback and then it would come down here. Now that's the overall trend. You're not going to get that much within a week because we're on the daily time frame. But we know that all we want to be doing this week really is selling USD JPY, especially once we've got the strong dollar. You probably realize you're going to spend most of your week watching the Dixie, waiting for that bounce so that you can actually enter most of these trades, but don't get into them too early because it won't pay off. Really do just be patient, and once you see the bounce, you can sell USD JPY, you can enter Euro USD, you can enter GBP USD, all like we spoke about a minute ago. The other thing for USD/JPY though, you don't just want to enter this based on the Dixie bounce. It would help you a lot, but remember that USD/JPY is a bit different of a currency pair. It's more of a risk asset than it is, a currency. It tells us the risk in the market more than it does the dollar weakness or the Japanese yen weakness, or even strength if that's the case. And so when it comes to trading USD/JPY, you need a risk on, risk off sentiment that you can sort of back up your trade with. So guys, that's just about it for this week. These are our trade biases for this week. If you want access to our VIP training academy, where you'll not only get a training course, mentorship and trading signals, but you also get a load of other cool stuff as well, then there'll be a link down in the description below. Go down there, click it. It will take you to a group chat, and in there you'll find all the information that you need. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.